I am in Honduras in the home of our restoration program for girls 18 and under. And being here in the middle of all of it reminded me of a moment that I had in ministry just recently at an awareness event. I was blessed to be able to answer one of my very favorite questions. This gentleman, he came up to me afterwards and he said, "I'm just curious, what does discipleship look like in your program? How do you disciple these girls? Everything they've been through, the worst of it. How do you point them to Jesus?" Because really, that's what discipleship is. To be a disciple is to be a student. And so we're all called to be disciples. We're students of Jesus, learning how to follow him. And we're teaching our girls exactly that. How do we follow Jesus with our lives? And so I love it when people ask, because so many of our partners, just individuals and churches, they're curious because they want to know for sure that they're partnering with a ministry that is putting Jesus first, that Christ is at the center of all of it. And so that's a question that I love to answer. How are we discipling our girls? Well, it's twofold. So there are the official kind of ways that we disciple, where they attend church and they go to youth group and they do Bible studies. And those ways are beautiful. But also, because at Radiate Coalition, our standard of care is what we call whole person care. So it's the same standard of care that we would want for our own kids. Everything that they need for life. So it's medical care, it's dental care, it's a private school education. They get at a Christian school. They get all the same things that we want for our own kids: a safe bed to sleep in and healthy food to eat. But it's also someone to bandage that scraped knee. It's someone to be there when they have a nightmare, somebody in the middle of the night. And so in those moments, just like we would with our own kids, discipleship is also happening in those more unofficial moments, as we want to call them that. During that moment where the caregiver is bandaging that scraped knee, she's telling him that our God is a God who's near to the brokenhearted. Our God is a God who binds up our wounds, right? And when there's a bad dream, there is a staff member right there to step in and hold her and tell her that she's loved. Tell her that there's a God who sees her. There's a God who says that that she doesn't have to be afraid, because he will never leave her or forsake her. There are counselors and staff members standing by to remind our girls when they are having a really hard day and they don't feel like there's any purpose to their life, that there's a God who has plans for their future, right? Plans to give them a hope and a future. That there's a God who knit them together in their mother's womb, and he planned good works for them to do before the beginning of time. And so, again, a question I love to answer: how do we disciple our girls? Well, we do it through the official channels, because those are important too: church and youth group and community and Bible study. But also, it's in the day-to-day moments. It's cooking meals together. It's teaching them to thank God for our food before we eat. Why do we do that? Well, because Jesus did that. And we're disciples of Jesus, followers of Jesus. He's our example. We want to live like Jesus lived. We want to walk like Jesus walked. We want to be salt and light in this dark world. And that is what we're pointing our girls to every single day. We're so glad that you are a part of it with us. Welcome to Radiate Coalition.